I recently spent a week sick on the couch. Not terribly sick, but, crappy. And out of boredom, I picked up some yarn and I decided to make up some kind of new hat. I started to wonder if I could make a hat out of the granny stitch, and wouldn't that be so cute and quick to make? Yes, I think it would. And as I worked, I decided this would be a great hat for a certain young person I know who is also a beginner crocheter. And then I thought, if I wrote out a pattern to go with it, wouldn't that be even better for a little crocheter? So then they can make more hats for their friends, right? Genius, I know. So that's what I did. I feel a little bad since I know I'm way behind on the previous patterns I promised to post for this channel, which I definitely will. It's complicated, I guess. But to say thank you for your patience, I will be offering this printable pattern for free. That's right. See the description for a link to the instant download in my shop. But I also designed a whole second hat that's completely different, and that'll be coming up too, so keep an eye out for that one. All right, let's begin. For the original hat, I used Red Heart Striped, which I really liked. This hat is perfect for a color changing yarn. For the video, I'm using a plain yarn, mostly just so you can see it better, but also to test my hubs who said, oh, I like it so much I would totally wear that. So we'll see about that. I used a size I or a 5.5 millimeter hook. You could go up to J or K, I would think, for an XL size. I think this is just a little tight on me, and I do have a big head, but I think it's normal size for normal size heads. Okay, we're going to start with a chain 4 loop and work 12 double crochets into that loop. Again, there is a full pattern available, which will have all the stitch counts for you. Hooray! It's free, okay? See the description for the link to the free download. Okay, starting with chain 2, then double crochet into the same stitch, okay, and then chain 2 again. So that counts as your first double crochet 2 together. All right, so continue working double crochet 2 together, chain 2 into each stitch around. Into that chain space, work slip stitch, chain 2, and then 2 double crochet. Okay, that counts as your first set of 3 double crochets. Continue working one group into each space around. Okay, for this round, we're going to chain 3, then working into the next space between groups, work one group and chain 1. Then you keep doing that all the way around into each space between groups. Now round 5 is our increase round, okay, and then it goes smooth sailing after this. Okay, so working into the chain 1 space, slip stitch, chain 2, 2 double crochet. Okay, that's one group, and then chain 1. All right, so into that same space, you're going to work another group and another chain 1, and that's how we increase. All right. Then in the next chain space, just work one grouping plus one chain, okay? And then you're gonna alternate. Every other space will be an increase and every other space will just be single, okay? So it'll be 2, 1, 2, 1 until you get all the way around. Okay, for the next round, you're going to start with a chain 3. Now, every other round is going to either start with chain 3 or slip stitch, depending on where you end up, right? You'll start to see that. Or look at the pattern, okay? So basically, keep working one group, chain 1, into each space around. So that's just straight, no increases, right? 9 rounds total, which would be up to round 14. Now at this point, it's a cap, right? And you could stop here, I guess, if you wanted to just do a single around and it could be done. I guess you could do that if you wanted to be a nerd and not a cool person who likes ear flaps, because ear flaps are awesome, and that's what I'm gonna do next. Hey, you do you. Now working into the chain 1 space, you're gonna slip stitch, chain 2, double crochet, and chain 1. And that's kind of our half stitch at the edge, all right? And then from there, you'll be just doing regular, same stitch you were doing before the granny stitch, for how many? 3, until you do the same thing on the other end. I'm showing you how that's the middle of the stitch, if you can tell. And then when we turn, we're gonna do just a chain 2 and then do your grouping into that next space. And now that's pretty much represents the space between, if that makes sense. So every other row will be, different on the end. I don't know if that makes sense. Look at the pattern. Then repeat those 2 rows. So you should have 4 rows straight up and down. Okay, then row 5 will be a decrease row. We're going to decrease row 5 and 6. So slip stitch into the second double crochet in the group, meaning the center one, chain 2, and then start working into your next chain 2 space with your groupings, okay? And at the other end with a double crochet into that same center stitch, and then continue to the next row. So the last row, row 6, is another decrease. We're going to slip stitch into that second double crochet in the next group, chain 2, and then start working into your next chain space. And again, ending with that single stitch in the middle of the last grouping, or yeah, double crochet, I mean, but one stitch. Okay, leave about a 3-inch tail and then chain stitch about 1 foot long. At the center tip of one of the ear flaps, with the right side facing you, single crochet into that chain 1 space and into the next 3 double crochets in that group. Now continue single crocheting down the side of the ear flap by working 2 singles around each sideways double crochet or chain 2. Only around those, okay? And then at the hat edge, when you get to the edge of that, continue to single crochet into each stitch, including the chain spaces, until you get to the next ear flap. Okay, and then do the same thing again. When you get to the center of that other ear flap, crochet a chain about 1 foot long and maybe match it up to the one that you've already made. And then leave a good long tail like you did before, about 3 inches, and then tie it off. Okay, now you're going to leave a long tail again, 3 inches, slip stitch into the last chain you worked. Yes, we do need those 2 tails, okay, trust me. Continue to slip stitch into each chain until you get to the ear flap tip, and then continue on with your single crochets as before. When you work your way to the other tie, continue down the tie doing your slip stitches all the way to the end, and again, yes, a good sized tail at the end, and tie off. And since this is supposed to be an easy beginner style pattern, I'm going to show you the easiest way I could think of to make a tassel for the ends of my ties. So of course they're optional again if you want to be not as cool, but I would suggest just make the damn tassels. It's a good skill to have. You never know when you need some tassels, right? So did I succeed in making something that was fun and cute and easy to make? I think I did. And look out for that other one. Don't forget to get the download, and I will see you in the next one.